So thanks for coming in today. That portion of this, it's going to be pretty light in the actual technical aspects because, if the developer is, they have a specialized skill set and that's what they do, but, as far as our hiring process, it's very similar to a lot of what else we do. And so, welcome. I'm Michael Lyons. I'm co-founder of Syndicate, along with Steve Robinson right out here. This is our kind of a new space, and we have the construction. And yesterday, they're actually wiring up these lights in here, so it's good to see this all working. So we started in November of 2012. We thought we had a new idea. Tanisha and I came from a company called Screen, and we saw that going into a different direction, or we thought it should go in a different direction. And so we, I don't know if I'd call it a spin-off, but we went a different direction with their blessing. And for those first few months, we started out in their space. We co-located, we did new art production and everything like that. And we actually started with 10 employees on day one. And they were all artists except for Tanisha and I. So, 8 designers and the two of us. Tanisha's background is more marketing and that sort of thing. My background is interior development. I've been developing professionally since about 1997, so I just realized it's like 18 years ago. So right when the web was starting to come out, and I started in the corporate world for about 10 years in those skills. So that was good because it gave me a nice view of corporate procedures and requirements documents and ISO and like all this stuff that I wouldn't have thought about. OCLC is about 1,200 people and we had about 100 developers there, so it was super cool. So now we've grown to about 140 employees, and I don't know what the exact number is right now.
We are interviewing
every day. So, and about 8 developers. And we have also a couple quasi-developers back here. He's been doing some marketplace development for us and things like that. And we can keep them. Awesome. So, and then we're interviewing right now for a couple tech openings, mostly around UI and some IT type of things. And we're going to continue to build this team up here. I don't know, maybe we'll end the year with 15 tech people, something like that. If everything goes to plan. It's been a slog to find the right developers, and we started. We received funding, or venture funding, in October this past year, and that was kind of impetus for this latest round of hiring. We have this vision for what our company is going to become, and we need tech help right now. So, step one, start with the developer. So that in this case is me. Any startup, you got to start with the developer. Like if you're a tech startup, that is. And I don't know what Tanisha's view of that is, but I think it's
don't outsource
something. It's
all your eggs.
Right. Intellectual property is going to be a big piece of your future. You need to start that in-house. You need to have someone there that's invested and cares about the product, and it's just kind of in line with everything that you're doing. Lucky for me, before this, my previous 14 or 15 years of development background was very general. I was doing everything, full stack, in a bunch of different languages that we use anymore, and then some somewhat modern ones that we use today. But that I would highly recommend starting with a developer as a co-founder. And then we went through a process with an outside consultant to determine, I shouldn't say determine, but to write our team's values, so mission, vision, values, and that was probably the best thing we did back then. the same page in most of these. But we had to get them on paper and make sure that we had buy-in from the team. So, our values, I kind of wrote it down real quick, but it's integrity, quality, people, evolution, compassion, authenticity, collaboration, fairness, and curiosity. And those are the most important things that we do. We do hire and fire, but then we've let go several of our best performers over the past couple of years because they could not get along with our team or they did something against our values. And it's unfortunate and it's not good for the business in that day, but it's good for the business for that year, for the future. And you, as a business, I think you gain respect from your staff when you do that. And you say, here are our values, and here we truly believe in them. We're not going to let people walk all over them just because they feel like they're the wrong personality for it or anything like that. We're going through this process now of making sure those values are in front of everybody. Where they're in our handbook, and I think they're involved in our production facility. I stick them on the wall here, but we want people to understand what those are. Maybe they'll evolve a little bit over time. We have a word them or whatever, but we really got to push those down on the folks and use those to hire determined great people for our company.
On the street, the employee doesn't have to have some time.
It depends on how they want to get some. We've had some people, that did something so bad that they were out that day. And then we've had others that, maybe we thought they weren't being right, and we talked to them, and everything's fine. I think for better or worse, people make mistakes, or it's like a confrontation problem or something, and sometimes it's readily apparent that it's not going to work out. Sometimes it is. I think at our old space, we saw someone, we were leaving that, we were coming drinks across the street at the tiki bar, he's on his time cards and stuff like that. He was saying so bad, and we were sitting over there watching him walk out, and as soon as we went over there, 4, and he's playing on his time card, and it's like immediate. That type of thing. It lasts a long time, I guess, in that case. So, there's been some of those. And, we call this the castle over here or something. That's what I get people to call it here, but we call our production facility a parachute. Because it's mostly production employees and less career-oriented people at first. Maybe they're early in their career and figure out some of the rules of work, and it's a little different world over there, and that's where we had more of the problems with our values than we do over there. But it happens everywhere. So if anybody else has some questions on it, feel free to ask. So when we actually do hire, we hire for culture, enthusiasm, and capability, and then we do require all 3. So culture is like what I just talked about. So we have our values, and the other part of that is do you want to hang out with this person? Or do you want to have a beer with them, or sit down with them and enjoy their company? And if that's not the case, then why do we want to sit with them, hear us today, deal with them, and everything else? Enthusiasm, we do want people that actually want to work here, not just as a short-term job or just I need money, so I'm going to go work at this place. We want people that want to be here, that are going to grow with us a little bit, and kind of help us become better employers and better people. And then capability is just, for us, we see capability as, A, they can do the job, but also improve and grow the job. There's, in the technical world, most developers pick up a new language in a short amount of time. That's what Google's for, and that's what other tech sites and things are for. if we say go on a new language or a new technology, new platform or whatever, I think you know, I know that all the guys we have back there are going to be able to go out and figure it out in a reasonable amount of time. So it's more about that capability of learning and interest and things like that. And then I would say, so this is big for us, is in the beginning, we hired generalists. We, first 4 hires here, first 4 developers were all generalists really. So, myself and I think Pat just walked in, he's our second hire back in February, something like that. And so Pat and I are similar in that we're extreme generalists. We kind of do the full stack and we do, database front end. It doesn't really matter. And I think we enjoy all aspects of it. And then the next 2 were, we hired this past summer, and they're both pretty general. And the reason why we need that is we just need people that can take on all aspects of our business. And especially at the beginning, because we don't know what's coming. We can't afford to, for funding, we can afford to just go out and hire someone just for database or just for whatever, and it just wouldn't make sense, especially when we operate our e-commerce websites, we operate some internal automation tools and developers up to that point. We're doing all the IT work and everything, and then we also have our full production facility, which is its own platform. We produce all of our t-shirts and everything, shipping and everything, so it's brand new. And so we don't know what's coming, we don't know what's going to happen. We've got to have generals. I don't know what the right number is, but our first 4 were that. And then since then, we've been hiring for specialization. So we hired a database guy. That's all I did was database stuff and deal with data, shopping reports and things like that. We hired a couple of front end guys, or maybe 3 of them, and that's all I did was front end. And our next tech hire is UI, UX analyst. So that more of the API testing, looking at the data, kind of helping guide the UI UX process along. And then our next one is the other one is an IT guy. That's all he does is IT. We have 140 employees, which means we have about 120 computers displayed. We've got internet connections and VPNs and all that, and a bunch of servers out in Virginia right now, and moving those into Amazon Cloud and everything. So we got a lot of stuff going on in the IT world, so it's about that time. And then this is kind of a building off that and building build applications and later build frameworks. So when we first started out, you almost got to prove your business. You have to, you can't build this perfect framework that's going to last forever. You just don't have time. You got to get a product out there. You got to bring revenue in. You cannot sit there and build the perfect thing. And that's what we did. We got a site up. I think we started the company on November 1st, 2012. Our first e-commerce site was up and running, and we did a custom platform. And it was December 16th, I think, is when we launched local.com. And so for the first 2 years, it's actually still running on that platform today. It's been highly modified, but it's still on that platform. But we're finally to that point where it's time for the framework. And that's what our big push for development talent was for, is to build this platform. We are building our framework that in theory is scalable infinitely, as many websites as we want, as many e-commerce platforms or sites we want. And this is the right thing for us right now. And I don't know if it will be forever, but this is the next push for us. And that's, we're finally at a point where we can hire for that. So any questions? Yeah.
So what was the tipping point?
The tipping point
that was the way
for the new platform that we're working on.
Yeah, moving the framework.
So our first e-commerce platform is very siloed. So you have one database for the e-commerce platform. You've got the kind of basically the e-commerce layer on top of that, like directly on there, and there's a couple other like quasi layers in there, but it's basically very siloed. So if we want to make a new website, we have to take copy this entire silo over to another server or whatever, and it's just not scalable. And the traffic patterns are a lot of times in our world are unpredictable. So we'll get a big hit on BuzzFeed or something like that, and we just don't know what's coming. And we've been able to make it through Christmases and everything up till now. We will not make it through Christmas without a hugely scalable platform, and that's kind of where it's at.
So it's a scale factor problem. And
Yeah.
actually, we'd like to put more sites in, but each one is requiring duplicate work.
Yeah, so that, and then we just have a lot of features too that we could push into the old system, but it's almost been hacked together at this point, where we built it from what was in our mind back in 2012 as our business model. Our business model has changed 3 or 4 times since then. I mean, it's kind of in the same path, but there's things that we did different or doing differently now than what we thought about a year ago. And so, but we think we do have the business model kind of locked in a little bit better.
Do you think a larger number of developers having a voice in the architecture also plays a factor?
Oh, yeah.
Create much more
I mean,
system.
Yeah, so one of the unfortunate things about my career path is that since I do a lot of management and other things like that, I don't develop as much as I used to. And so I don't keep up on new technologies as well as I used to. So I don't know every little JavaScript framework that's coming out or anything like that. And so it was new guys, they know the stuff, they keep up on it, and so the input from them is hugely valuable. And there's frameworks for stuff out of the box now that are popular that we've been doing for years, but they're doing it in a much better way. And so it has been nice bringing in some fresh development talent in here that's not myself, and improve our process. Okay, so once we now get into hiring, when we first started, we started hiring from our network. Our network at that point in time was a lot of screening, like where we came from, and then just like personal friends, personal acquaintances, and things like that. You kind of tap that out pretty quickly because the best of them already got jobs, and there's just not a ton of Compass is pretty a tight market for developers. I'm sure developers out here know that. So what we did, because we took investment money and we needed to scale as fast as possible, we added recruiters, and that was probably, I'd say, the best decision that we made. It's super expensive, but you have instant access to development talent. They're actually, basically you're expanding on their network. That's what they do for a living, is network. And it kind of boggles your mind how expensive it is, but it's hugely worth it. And so our, beyond back there, every other person, every other development we have back there came from recruiting. And that's going to continue to be the case for at least a little while. They're recruiting out of other employers and things in the area. They're getting exactly what you want. And, it means you to write those checks, the 20% or whatever they take. And, but it's hugely valuable, and we will continue to grow. So we generally avoid job sites and Craigslist and other passive sources. It really hasn't worked out for us. I think it's worked out for us 2 times out of 140 people or something like that. It doesn't seem like either side's putting in the work to find the right people. So maybe that's why, we don't know. We do actively use LinkedIn. We've gotten some of our best candidates from there, not developers, but other folks. But you really do need someone going in for the specific skills and looking for the specific thing. But all these passive sites and things like that, you just it seems like you have to sift through a couple hundred resumes to find anybody worth bringing in. and then this is the big ones prepared to pay for it. It's the people that you're going to want to hire, you want to hire the A players. They got options. They go out west, go out east. They can stay in town and do exactly what they want, and they can do anything they want, basically. So you have to pay for it. The job market in Columbus is real tight. You've got a ton of Fortune 500 companies, and it's you have this window, I think, in developers' lives where you can get them, and that's before they have a family generally, and because they get locked into a Fortune 500 company here, and they got healthcare, and then someday to try to start up and risk their family's well-being and everything. It's hard, and we started with that, and we lost several people to that, being able to compete for people. And so you maybe have this window of 5 to 10 years in a developer's life where you have a better chance of them, and if those look right around those ones you got to go for. People from that agency sometimes, but Columbus is tight, and unfortunately everybody recognizes that too, and so you need to be on cost as well. So our interview process is very unstructured, and so we review resumes and things like that, so I can bring in, we bring them in, and we sit down, maybe me or me and Pat, all the guys, and just kind of get to know them a little bit. We do go through some technical questions. Pat has this list, which is great. But the technical side of the interview is not real long. It's more about we get more into problem solving, we get more into what they want to do, what they'd like to do. Just more about the person themselves. I think that we can feel out some intelligence and things like that in the way we ask our questions and talk to them, and that's the more important thing. And then if they pass that, I'd say a decent amount of them pass that, we bring them in for a team interview, and that's really just maybe an hour-long conversation with the team, and that's just going to get a feel for it, then see if it's amazing how many people come in just not perform this side of it, where it's apparent that they're going to have problems with the team, they're going to argue with them, or whatever. So arguing is okay, but depends on what you're arguing about, I guess. But and basically within that, like if we like them, we're going to make an offer. And generally, I think on the development side, I think they're just taking our offer, which is really nice. We don't. The reason why we don't do reference checks, we don't do a real deep technical thing is because if we're wrong, unfortunately, it's not going to work out, and it's time to move on. And it's like that sounds real cold, but if we get a couple months down the road, and it's not working out, yeah. So luckily, we don't have to do that yet with developers. So I'm happy about that. We've got to do that in other places, I guess. Okay. Now we'll talk about integration a little bit. Give them the environment and equipment they want, and that really means if they want a Mac, fine. This isn't the first time Mac, which I've never actually had, but apparently all developers want Macs these days. And but basically, this is the cheapest thing you're going to do for productivity. Just give them exactly what they want. It's like I don't care if they want 5 screens and 2 desktops. If they want to work in a certain way, let them do it. It doesn't matter. I think our whole development team minus one has moved to Mac products, which is kind of crazy to me, but I'll probably do that for a couple years ago. But just make them give them a good experience, and this is the easiest thing to do. If they want, it's dumb, but if they want to stand up while they work, give them stand up desks. If they want, I don't care what it is, give and then more importantly, integrate them into the team and into the company. So luckily, we're in a space where here at our office here, everybody loves developers and respects developers, and so it's easy. They can fit right in. They sit right in that, pretty much in with all the designers and things. They have a say in the meetings. They have we truly do respect them and their input. Of course, there's friction there every once in a while. The designers get fights with the developers about how to implement something or whatever, but that's okay. It gets figured out and we move on to the next thing. But as long as that input is heard, and everything, as long as you build that respect between different departments and different people and things like that, it's easy. We get to play being moderator every once in a while, but that's okay. It's going to happen, and especially as people get to know each other and as we grow the departments in different ways, it's going to happen. And then keep everybody happy. But attrition is so expensive. Like not only do you have to rehire things, the period leading up to that attrition is the cost of statement that you're going to do. So if someone's going to quit that 6 weeks beforehand to think about it, nothing's happening, we're losing all sorts of productivity and by a bunch of people have something or other. So just do what you can, try to catch problems early. And we haven't all seen developers yet for stuff like this, but we have lots of others in other departments that really for a wrench into maybe a month's worth of productivity for 10 people, and you gotta keep that from happening. There's not much you can do except for talk to everybody, keep in the loop, and just try to solve problems as quickly as possible. Don't sit on them and let people stick. And then help them become better. That could mean a lot of different things. People like to do new things. They don't like to be stuck on a particular project or project for forever. They let them explore their interests. Let them go on tangents. Sometimes there's no productivity for a week because you let them go on a tangent. That's okay. Because, we experiment a lot here. We failed a lot. It's okay. They appreciate it. They become better people, and that is part of our DNA, corporate DNA, I guess, to experiment. And we're going to continue to go that direction. And hopefully it's on this work, running things right. And then finally, we have a lot of improvements to make. We like I said before, we get most of our stuff from recruiters, get most of our people, or I should say, most of our developers from recruiters. And in the future, we'll bring a lot of that recruiting in-house, and because, part of this is not something that we're doing, but, a lot of our, reading in this area, it's like just interview all the time, get better networking and things like that, and just be interviewing constantly, and getting, trying to track people down. If the right person comes along, you're not quite ready for them, hire them anyway, and we'll figure something out here for a couple months until we do them or figure out a project. Just because of how expensive it is to recruit properly. And we're not doing too much of this yet, but more continuing education. It's a big goal in our business. We're actually actively looking for basically someone that's going to run our continuing education program here at Syndicate for all departments right now, but to kind of help that process and make sure people are getting the education they need when they need it. We want better people out of this, and not quite there yet, but that's something that's going on. And then lastly, start down. You think about if you wanted to hire a developer, how long does it take to get them? Before they're up and running and productive, if you said start today. It's gonna be 2 or 3 months probably before you have someone actually in-house, like recruited, interviewed, hired, in-house and productive. It takes the work out of it. So if you're going down this road, yes, start now. You need a lot of time. So that's that's basically my talk. If you have any questions, hit me up. You can always email me or I'm around. My desk is like 20 feet that way. So Mike can Syndicate.com. But whatever you need, if you ever need help with something, let us know. If you're looking for anything, let us know. Maybe point in the right direction.
Good benefits,
Yeah. Yep. So we do good healthcare, occupational accident, we got 401ks, we got life insurance. So we've had when we first started, I think we got health insurance like 6 months or something after we started or something like that. I don't remember. And then we just started tacking on basically the expected things, and it's pure recruiting. When we first started, nobody cared about 401k because our average age when we first started was 25 years. And our average age now is only like 26, 27, but as we recruit from some of the more experienced folks, that's like, you don't have 401k, get on some grant. So, yeah.
So, you mentioned that you guys hired out a consultant to work on what are your values and things that are you guys. That's probably permeated not just on your development team, but through your organization. That's pretty rare for an early stage company to hire somebody to do that. So what would trigger for you guys to do something like that and say, we need help finding out what it is we should do?
I don't know what the exact trigger was. You can probably answer that better, but Bert and I talked about it a little bit, and it just seemed great. We want it makes it easier to get people on the right page, and it gives you an anchor basically to get rid of people that don't match up to. Because unfortunately, generally the people you start with are not the people you finish with, right? And that sucks, but and so there's a little of that. You do use it to hire your new folks, but you do need to.
That's always the other thing. Some people fall in love with the skill set or the resume, not trying to put this up.
Yes.
And one of the big impetus for us was that so many high growth startups, especially if you're hiring at such a massive rate, take total shit because they don't pay attention to HR and culture. And so they're just, absorbing people, and then people have no place to deal with grievances or deal with issues or think about mobility or all kinds of other problems that come with people's lives. And so there are actually a lot of very, very highly scaled billion-dollar startups that have major culture problems. And fortunately for us, we had access to the guys from Zappos who built a legendary culture. And so it's something that we decided to pay attention to, knowing that we were, it's where the wheels fall off for a lot of companies. The business part is easy, people part is the hardest thing that we do.
When did you guys implement that?
That was probably last.
Like interviewed all the employees we had at the time and asked about their values.
In 2013, started.
Yeah.
So about a year in.
Year one. And we hired our director of HR, like about 40 people or 50 people in as well.
And unfortunately for sure, her, she's still at 140 people. So, but yeah, so it was good to get people on board with all that and define what those values are.
So was that like an interview process from their perspective, or did you feed them with a bunch of the value data to start it off? Or?
Yeah, so it was the first few hours was an interview process. What do you guys do? What do you guys see as important? Because we had the mission vision in there too. I can't remember the exact wording of those, but for me the values was the important one. And we spent probably the most time on values and nailing those down. And the funny part was that he sent us home separately, things like break your values down. And luckily, I think 8 out of 10 of them came back like almost like that, like worded a little differently or whatever, but they were right there, and that was and maybe she's the right business partner. So that helped out a lot. But yeah, it was a lot of interviewing and then kind of going back and forth and clarifying and then getting basically our senior people at that time to buy in, to let them weigh in on how we phrase things and all that.
So how long did that process take to finish that? A month or two?
Yes, it's about 2 months from the time we started, and the big thing too is as co-founders being unified in terms of what is the game that we are playing and what are we trying to do with the business is a really big deal. Because it's like a question when you're trying to reinvest or take money out, or a question when you're thinking about raising capital or taking or keeping full control of the business. And so, Mike and I are absolutely in the same game, and we are in the same game for the 5-year and the 10-year version of this, which is also, another thing that can break down startups is divisiveness between the founders. Like, actually, our investors tell us about how they bring in founding teams and then say, so which one of you is the CEO, and see what happens. And, and so a lot of investors, all of our investors say team first, and they really, really watched our dynamic closely. And so going through that process, I think, was great so that we are totally unified. Our values are unequivocally our anchor, and and we're in the same game. And so it really helps, filter, the values are a great filter for decision making. So for any of our people, it's like, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here, they can reference the values to think about kind of as a guideline. So
Yeah, thanks for that, because when you're in the thick of this and it's your first time, right?
Yeah.
It's taking a week to figure this out, you're like, this is taking forever, right? Whereas to know that you guys took months.
Yeah, it's a not easy process, and when you take that homework home and stuff, it's not an easy thing. You have to sit down and think about it, especially when you got other revenue generating stuff to work on. It's a little bit of a distraction, but it's a good investment.
You mentioned the go-to-market stuff, employer.
Yeah.
What are some things that you
So for us, I would say that we hope that more networking, or especially buyer developers themselves, we want people, we want them to be proud to work here and basically friends and former colleagues, but also if they know people looking at specific skill sets, hopefully that's becomes a thing. Recruiting will still become a big part of it, just because you help recruiters have interviews that week of the right people. We work with a couple recruiters that have been very good to us. Anybody wants any names, I'm happy to pass those on because they're awesome. But beyond that, we do want to. It's even as simple as just getting right in front of the right people and me saying here, like, hey, we're looking for this and that. Anybody that is this great fit. But I think that recommendations from people in the field are probably the most valuable thing. And then hopefully, all these Fortune 500 companies just go under something.
yeah.
It's not very nice.
It's okay, you don't want those guys.
I would say, a lot of times that they're harder to integrate your team. The guys have been doing the same thing for 15 or 20 years, so it's probably true in a lot of ways, but there's some good ones in there.
Also, our Series A was really good for recruitment. It's one thing to be like, hey, me and Mike got a company, come sign up and quit your job, and it's different to have the validation and the capital. And then that's also a big part of our PR strategy is to just be visible and then known entity so that when people go home and tell their spouse they're quitting their job, that it's like they can point to articles and understand that we're well funded and have validation. But the Series A was definitely one of the benefits of that was from our strategy.
Yeah, we even got like 4 or 5 people that like moved to Columbus.
From places like New York and,
A couple people in this room.
Yeah.
It's the Series A definitely love that. It's like, hey, it's just maybe a stable job, wait for me right there in Columbus. So.
the interview highlight though, this one guy was trying to negotiate salary. I said, I need more money because this company might not be here in a year. And I was like, you're gonna say that to the fucking founder in the interview? I did not get a job with me and Mike. That's my favorite.
How did, moving locations from your production, how do you feel integrate that team feeling between them and you guys are not animosity? Like, you guys in the office, you doing the ones that you hear,
So I guess a problem that's going to live forever. But we do events that are company-wide. So all our best events we do, make sure everybody's invited. So Syndicate, Clippers games, we do photos every summer. We do pretty good holiday party, and then a few others sprinkled out throughout the year. We did a taco truck and stuff over in production a couple weeks ago. All the guys over there. The other aspect of that is, in our talks with everybody, we do play up the fact that everybody's is crucial to the success of our business. In production, we call it the proprietorship, but they make this happen.
I mean, in the dream world of production be more public.
No. So it is 2 separate cultures. Everybody plays by the same values, but over there is you're on the clock. You got to produce this much shirts and things like that. And over here, if you walk out there, there's 4 of them watching YouTube, and there's 3 watching Netflix, and one probably having a beer right now. They're nice and today.
It's actually better that they're not in the same place.
And it does breed animosity in there together. So.
You hire any junior developers, or you mostly
So this latest round is more senior. We have a couple more junior, but this latest one we have a couple projects we're getting done, and it's not the time to. But in the future, there will be more junior. I would say.
starting out?
Well, starting out was just me and Pat, and I've been doing this for a while, and Pat we've been working with for about 4 years or 3 years at that time, and so he's like a prodigy or something like that, and so we did have more experience at the beginning. If I was not a developer and we started from the beginning, we would hire the most experienced developer or co-founder if possible, and then get a piece of the business.
You hired for a role specific to QA?
Not yet. So that's coming. So
Part of the evolution?
yeah, we're looking. What's that?
Part of that evolution?
Yeah. So right now, most of our QA is us, the site and testing it. But we're going to outsource a couple of the testing aspects of it for a little bit. But in the long term, that will be a position that's probably not till fall or something like that.
Sort of hit up benefits like that. Are there any other creative ways you guys can like the soft benefits of how you guys manage like your time or
Well, we tell people work-life balance. We have flex time where we actually we do require people working in the office, but from 10 to 4 is what we call 4 hours, and then they can work on either side of that or move stuff around to make their life work. We don't want people working like crazy and burning themselves out. We do want people to use their vacation. Kind of our feeling is that these folks, if you work past 40 hours too much, you're not getting anything out of them. So let them live their lives and be happy. And so So I would call them soft benefits. The other soft benefit is that I think we are working on cool stuff. These weeks obviously when we've been some, I think, a couple of developers that write audit tables for accountants and stuff like that. That's not real fun, but the rest of the time.
Unlimited supply of t-shirts.
Yeah.
Like that everyone's thinking.
Yeah. So, but we try to provide a good experience. We don't do foosball tables and stuff like that here, but we do try to do good events and things like that, pizza and whatnot like that, and just try to pay people respect that they deserve. And maybe it goes along with